Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, I'm Rajarsi Dasa. This is a special presentation on Tirtha or holy places. Very often people would leave the Western world and they would go all the way to India, or some people go to Mecca on pilgrimage. Now Tirtha or holy place, why does a place become holy? Or how does a place become holy? The place becomes holy by virtue of its connection or its contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, the Absolute Truth. For example, Sri Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan in India, is Lord Sri Krishna's personal abode in the spiritual world that has descended to this world. So because it is the Lord's personal abode, when a person goes there, a person contacts that spiritual abode. The trees there are not ordinary. The rivers, like Jamuna, are holy places in themselves, because of their contact with the Supreme Lord. So Vrindavan is full of many wonderful holy places of pilgrimage. You go to Gokula, you will find many wonderful sites where Krishna was bound by Mother Yashoda, the wonderful pastime called Damodara Leela. Or you go to Brahmanda Ghat on the bank of the Jamuna, where Krishna ate dirt and then revealed to Yashoda the universal form, Brahmanda Ghat. Of course, if you go there, it's such an attractive sight that the people, the residents of this place, they still make round balls of earth and they're selling to the pilgrims who come there. You go to Govardhan, this very wonderful hill that Krishna displayed his supreme power. He held up Govardhan hill on the little finger of his left hand for 7 days to shelter his devotees, the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So today, going on pilgrimage to Vrindavan, part of it may mean doing Govardhan Parikram. It takes about 7 hours to actually go around Govardhan Hill by walking, checking out all the different holy places around. That's walking. There are many people who take a vrat or a vow to do Dandavat. They just pay obeisances around Govardhan Hill. They take a vow to do that. That's very amazing. Radha Kund, the most holy of all holy places, Radha's personal bathing place, is such an amazing, wonderful spot in Vrindavan. So a person can go to so many different wonderful places. Of course, where ISKCON temple is situated, that's called Ramanareti, the place of soft white sand. That's where Krishna and Balaram would go with their friends herding the cows. So this is a very wonderful place, Ramanareti. You go on the Parikram path along the banks of the Jamuna, and there you would run into so many different holy places. So people would do Vrindavan Parikram. That of course will take just about 3 hours. You go in around Vrindavan, a smaller area. So Vrindavan because it's the Lord's personal abode and it is present in this world, devotees who have faith, they go and take shelter of Vrindavan Dham. They'll take shelter, take the dust on their head, bathe in the holy places. So it's very important to note that the holy places are misused by materialistic person also. And Bhagavad gives evidence of this, that instead of using a tirtha for purification, people use it for sense gratification. The example of the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvara, that's proof of this in Bhagavad. They were very proud of their wealth and their opulence and their association with Lord Shiva, and so they were intoxicated and they were bathing naked with beautiful women in the Mandakini Ganges. And of course, the great saint Narad, for their benefit, he punished them by cursing them to stand as trees. Because he said, you are not conscious that you are drunk and you are naked and so on. So trees are standing there, but they are not manifesting that gross consciousness. So it says in the Bhagavad Gita, by Krishna, Dhumena vrite vanir yatha darsho malena cha yathol binavrito garbhas tathate nedam avritam. That there are three grades of lust, this sin, this burning desire. So three grades of this lust results in souls being degraded in lower species. So Lord Krishna says, these three grades. One, as a fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, and as the embryo is covered by the womb, souls are similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. So in the human form, it's like fire covered by smoke. That's not too bad. If you properly handle the situation, the fire will come ablaze just by some blowing and so on. But the mirror covered by dust, that may require some, not just blowing, it may require some stronger physical effort. So in the animal kingdom, consciousness is covered over more. Due to greater sinful activities, the souls have animal bodies. And worst yet, plants and trees. So Narad cursed the sons of Kuvera to become trees. So when we see the trees standing there, we should know it is because of great lust. So it is compared to the embryo covered by the womb. The child won't manifest immediately. It will take time before the child will become manifest. So, going to holy places for a human being is to become free from sin. So what about the Ganges? The Ganges is a very powerful holy place. The Ganga is flowing from the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, the Ganges, coming from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, carries the purification, the dust of his lotus feet, and it has the power to purify souls of this world. After all, that's why the Ganges came to this world. The sons of Sagara, they were reduced to ashes for blaming Lord Kapila for stealing their sacrificial horse. And the proclamation was, these sons of Sagara, they can be saved only if Ganga can be brought to these regions of the universe, then they will be liberated. So of course, Sagara, Dilip, many Anshuman, they all tried to bring Ganga down, but then it was the great effort of their descendant King Bhagirath who was successful in begging Ganga to come to earth. But then Ganga Devi, she said, but I don't want to come to the lower regions of the universe because I'll become contaminated by the sins of sinful people in the lower regions of the universe. But then she was given the assurance that even though sinful people would come to the holy place and leave their sins there, but when powerful, holy people, when sadhus, saintly persons come there, then they will take away the sins because of their power. So Ganga agreed to come, but then she said, I don't want to go to the lower regions of the universe. Who would sustain me when I come? You have to get someone to sustain me. So then Bhagirath, he went through more austerity again, and then he appealed to Lord Shiva to help him to sustain Ganga when she comes to earth. Lord Shiva agreed. So then, when Ganga came with this great force, then she was caught in the locks of Lord Shiva. Therefore he is called Gangadhar, the supporter of Ganga. So Lord Shiva then released Ganga, who started to follow King Bhagirath. But then along the way, she washed away the ashram of the sage Jahnu, who was offended, and the great sage just reduced her and drank her up. And again Bhagirath, his purpose was frustrated. And appealing to the sage Jahnu, then he released Ganga through his heir, and therefore she is called Jahnavi. She appeared as the daughter of Jahnu, and so Ganga is also called the Jahnavi. So we can go up on pilgrimage, go all the way up. You can go up to Badrinath. Along is the Alaknanda, the Ganga is flowing down, and you can go up there to this wonderful place, Badrinath, which is one of the Char Dhams, one of the 4 abodes of the Supreme Lord in this world. It is where the Lord in his form as Narayan Rishi, they perform austerity there. At that holy place at Badrinath, for most of the year it is covered by ice. But then for a few months, pilgrims can go up there and take darshan of the Lord. It's very amazing. It is said that the light burns throughout for months until they return again. Now, this is a very amazing place. Past this place, you can walk further up the Himalayas, and you could go to Samyaprasa, the cave of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva actually is still staying in his cave up there at Samyaprasa. The incarnation of Hanuman, the great Madhvacharya, made it all the way up and presented his commentary of the Bhagavad Gita there and was blessed by Vyasadeva. So Vyasa is still there. Of course, on the bank of the Saraswati, there also is that place where Ganesh, Vyas was dictating, and Ganesh was putting the scriptures into writing. All these places, you can make this long journey way up to the Himalayas and experience this beautiful sight. Many other wonderful holy places. Orissa, another one of the dhams, the Lord's personal abode. It is the place, Orissa, Jagannath Puri. Orissa is the place, the origin of the Odissi dance. Of course, you may hear the Pandit saying, Orissa Jagannath ki jai. But they do not know, who is this Orissa Jagannath? He is none other than Lord Krishna, Bande Krishna Jagat Gurum. Krishna is the Lord of the He is Deva Deva Jagatpati. He is the Lord of the universe. So, Orissa, that ancient temple in Jagannath Puri, has a wonderful history. And every year, the largest annual festival in the world is the Rath Yatra. It is once a year that the Lord would come out of the temple to give benediction to devotees coming on the street. There are many persons who are not able to enter into the Jagannath temple because of the caste system and so on. So even the Mohammedans, they can take darshan of Lord Jagannath on this one day, on this occasion of Rath Yatra. So Jagannath Puri is the most amazing pilgrimage place. It is very dear to Lord Krishna because it actually holds it is the rasa, the reservoir of very intimate relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. In fact, the Rath Yatra celebration demonstrates the inhabitants, the gopis of Vrindavan, they came to Kurukshetra, another holy place which we'll speak about later. For this eclipse, the residents of Vrindavan came there. They came to Kurukshetra. So, Krishna came from Dwarka. But the gopis of Vrindavan didn't like to see Krishna in this manifestation as a king, in this royal position. They know Krishna as the attractive, the charming village boy running on the banks of the Jamuna, enjoying these mellows. And they wanted to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. So this festival of Rath Yatra represent the devotees, the gopis of Vrindavan, pulling Krishna, trying to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. Of course, for Diwali season, we also speak about Diwali, the return of Lord Rama to Ayodhya, another holy place, Ayodhya. So this pastime of Diwali symbolizes our life is full of darkness in this material world. Agyana, Tama, we would pray. Om Agyana Timirandhasya. I am born in Tama, Agyan, in ignorance. I am born in darkness. So in this world, people are in darkness because they are not God conscious. So the inhabitants of Ayodhya, the Lord of their life was missing. So when Lord Ram was returning to Ayodhya, then they welcome him by Deepa, by the lighting of lamps. So this beautiful occasion also symbolizes bringing or taking God back into our life. Because you can light millions of lamps, but if you remain in ignorance of your relationship with God, Sambandha Gyan, if you remain ignorant of Abhideya Gyan, your duty towards the Supreme Lord, and if you remain ignorant of Prayojana Gyan, how the Supreme Lord reciprocates with us, how He can deliver us, how He can give us mercy, how we can attain eternal destination in His abode. If we are ignorant of all these things, we can go on lighting millions of lamps, but it will not be enough to save us from the cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death. Therefore, when we speak about Diwali, and Ayodhya and the holy place, we're speaking about bringing Ram into our life. Because where there is Ram, there is no Kam. Kam means lust, the real enemy of the souls in this world. Yes, Krishna was asked by Arjuna, by what is a person impelled to sinful acts? And Krishna said, Kamaesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudbhava. It is lust only, Arjun, which is born of contact with this Rajogun, this mode of passion. And it is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. So, Ramante yogino nanti satyanande charatmaniti ramapadena shau param brahma vidyati. Devotees, they're yogis in devotion because they link with Rama, the reservoir of all pleasure. So linking can be done by the simple process of chanting his names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By this simple process, chanting the holy names of God, we can actually become free from this calm, and we can contact Ram, the reservoir of all pleasure, and experience real happiness. So, if we understand what is the real benefit of pilgrimage, what is the real benefit of going to holy places of pilgrimage, the real purpose of going to holy places of pilgrimage is to become free from sin, to become purified, and to prepare ourselves for going back to the eternal world. But if materialistic people don't know this, and they go to a holy place just sightseeing or just to take a bath, this has been condemned by Krishna at Kurukshetra. Krishna was asked to give a speech when so many people came for this eclipse at Kurukshetra. And what did Krishna say? He was very heavy. He says, Yasyatma buddhi kunape tridhatuke, one who considers this body, kapapita vata, one who thinks this body to be the self, he is a cow and an ass. One who thinks that the land of his birth, Bhauma, Egypt, he is worshipable just because I was born there. He is described as a cow and an ass. And yet, Tirtha buddhi salilena karichich, people who go to places of pilgrimage just to take a bath, but fail to hear from the sadhus, the saintly persons there. Krishna says for them, sa eva go karaha. Go means cow, kara means gadaha. It means ass. So, donkeys and cows go to the Ganga also just to quench their thirst. So, human beings are not supposed to go to holy places just on sightseeing and just to take a bath. The real benefit is actually derived when you come in contact with the Mahatmas there. Why? Mahat Sevam Dwara Mahur Vimuktis. By coming in contact with the powerful, the Mahatmas, the Mukti Dwar, the door to liberation, is wide open. That is the benefit of coming in contact with Mahatmas, saintly persons. You get a clear understanding of the goal of life and the means for achieving that goal. And you get the strength from the Mahatmas, the saintly persons. You learn clearly about Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, how these three things can help you to attain perfection in life. So the real example of a Tirtha is described in Bhagavad. The great Yudhishthira, he addressed Yamaraj in the form of Vidura. He said, Bhavad Vidha Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibhu Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani Svantakstena Gadabritaha. That my Lord, persons like your good self are holy places personified. You are the embodiment of all holy places. Why? Because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. Tirti kurvanti tirthani swantakstena gadabritaha. You turn all places into places of pilgrimage. Now, where can you find a greater example of a holy place personified than in that of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada? He is the greatest example in the modern age of a holy place personified. He left the holy place of Vrindavan and came to New York City. But because of carrying the personality of Godhead with him, being a true Brajvasi and having the true spirit, carrying the Lord within his heart, wherever he went, he came to New York City and he made it a holy place. Instead of people traveling all the way to India to take a bath in the Ganga, to become free from sin, they came in contact with Srila Prabhupada. They became free from meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex. They got the strength and the purification to adopt the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. They got the strength to take up Murti Seva, to worship the form of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada established Radha Govinda in Brooklyn, made it a Tirtha, a holy place. 22nd Avenue became a holy place. Tompkins Square Park, where he was performing the chanting, it became a holy place. So wherever that powerful, pure devotee Srila Prabhupada went, to the land of the Mlechas and the Yavanas and the untouchables, he went to Africa. He made people devotees, giving up meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex. You can go from any country, you can go to India. But how many people go and take a bath in the holy places and come back giving up meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, and becoming a devotee of God? Therefore, the Bhagavad says, Kirata hunandra pulinda pulkasha bhira shumba yavana kashadaya yenyecha papa yarapashrayashraya shudhyanti tasmai prabha vishnave namaha. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that Vaishnava, that powerful devotee of the Lord, by whose company Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, these are described in Mahabharata as low races of people who people in India would call untouchables, mlechas, yavanas. They would describe them by these different names. It is said, all these persons, by coming in contact with a powerful Vaishnava, they have a change of heart. Where can you find a more glorious and wonderful example of this than the personality of Srila Prabhupada? He carried Vrindavan. And you can go to the United States of America and behold New Vrindavan. Yes. You can go to New Gokula. Different parts of the world. You can behold the Lord's pastimes being reenacted due to the grace of that powerful personality, Srila Prabhupada. He is freeing people from sin all over the world. Therefore, going to a holy place, the real benefit is actually to become purified, become free from sinful activities. What about this holy place Mayapur in this age of Kali Yuga? The abode of Mayapur is so auspicious that it is none different from Vrindavan Dham. The Yuga Avatar, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, he appeared in Navadvip, West Bengal. There at this holy place in Mayapur, on the bank of the Ganges, the prophecy, the predictions were made that the son of Sachi Devi would appear, and from there he would deliver the world by giving the topmost process. Golokera Prema Dhana Harinama Sankirtan, the treasure of divine love in Goloka, has descended to this world. So it started in Mayapur, in Navadvip, this holy place on the bank of the Ganges. There the Sankirtan movement started, and the prophecy, the prediction, Priti Vitecheta Nagaradigram Sarvatra Prachar Hoibe Moranam. Lord Chaitanya made the prophecy that this chanting, this performance of Sankirtan will spread to every town and village of the world. So His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada established the headquarters of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in Mayapur on the bank of the beautiful Ganges there. So one can go there to the holy birth site and see the Yoga Peeth, the birthplace of the Yuga Avatar Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You can go to Chankazi Samadhi that is worshipped by both Muslims and Hindus, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted that Muslim magistrate into a devotee of the Lord. From the tomb of the Kazi, 2 trees come out. These 2 trees, one, a champak tree and a neem tree. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Nimai. He was born under a neem tree. And champa is the frangipani flower. It was a nickname of the Kazi. From the tomb, the huge champak, the largest champak tree you would see, is out of the tomb, entwined with the neem tree, symbolizing that relationship between Lord Chaitanya and the Kazi. So this spot is worshipped both by Muslims and Hindus alike. So many wonderful holy places of pilgrimage. So the real benefit, what is the real value, the real benefit? It is to become purified, to understand the goal of life, and it is to understand the means for achieving the goal. So when we come in contact with a powerful saintly person like Srila Prabhupada, we get clearly the goal and the means for achieving the goal. So in this way, we can purify our life and go back to the eternal world, the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna, I am Rajarsi Das. Do join us again next week for another presentation.